Red Bull was one of the only teams that brought new updates to the Austrian Grand Prix. What many deemed as an easy win for Verstappen turned out to leave many with unanswered questions. How did Verstappen lose this race to Ferrari? In this video, I will talk about how Verstappen lost the race to Charles Leclerc and how the updates from Red Bull were counterproductive. Before we get into that, it would mean a lot to me to like and subscribe to the Racing Guru. At the start of the season, Verstappen complained about the weight of the RB18 and the lack of front grip. He insisted that his team would work towards giving him a more responsive car. The understeering RB18 became evident during Australia, which saw Verstappen struggle to steer in his car. However, in Imola and moreover in Silverstone, Red Bull introduced updates that saw the car more towards Verstappen's liking. Silverstone seemed to be a race with an easy Verstappen win, but a piece of carbon from an AlphaTauri meant that Verstappen had to settle for 7th after fighting Mick Schumacher. For the Austrian Grand Prix, Red Bull brought more updates. The Red Bull team introduced a support pillar in the middle of the rear wing around the exhaust. This should increase the aerodynamic flow and reduce drag. Red Bull also altered the braking components, sealing the brake drums for better temperature regulation. Furthermore, Red Bull adjusted the floor fences to improve flow stability at different ride heights. And finally, there has been an extra cooling exit in the top body. This should allow for extra cooling to cool the engine unit. All these updates should have given Verstappen an edge over his rivals, yet Verstappen didn't manage to win the race. Interestingly enough, Verstappen got mainly beaten on a part which the Red Bull deemed superior in tire management. Throughout the season, Ferrari struggles to keep the tires to last as long as the Red Bulls, yet it was the other way around in Austria. Where Max was struggling for grip, Ferrari was flying. How is it possible that Red Bull couldn't manage the tires? One answer might lie in the changing weather patterns. Teams could expect a lot of rubber on track with both the F2 and F3 racing at Austria as well. As F1 teams work on their setups, they take into account all future factors as well. Setting up a car in an environment that is not plausible for the race can do more harm than good. However, quite unexpected, in the night of Saturday to Sunday, heavy rains washed away all the rubber that was gathered on Friday and Saturday. The rain neutralized the track and brought it back to pre-racing conditions. An increase of rubber on track lowers tire degradation significantly. If Red Bull set up their car expecting a lot of rubber on the track, then they were in for a surprise Sunday morning. Yet, all teams had to deal with this, and only Red Bull seems to struggle with tire degradation. So what is the setup that contributed to heavy tire wear? A well-balanced car with lots of downforce often faces the least tire degradation. Max had been complaining about an unbalanced car all race long. One lap he had front grip, the other lap he didn't have any front grip. An unbalanced car is rougher on tire management and increases tire wear. Max was frequently complaining about no traction on his rear tires. It sounded like his problems were tire temperature related and that Verstappen couldn't keep his tires in the right window. Red Bull might have made a crucial mistake in how they set up Max in his car. F1 cars can change all sorts of things, but changing the camber and toe of the tires can be crucial in getting the maximum out of the tires. The camber dictates the angle to which the top of the tire points into the car, whereas the toe dictates the angle to which the front of the tires point in or out from the car. A lower camber means that there is a smaller angle of the tire pointing towards the car. When the angle is smaller, more tire is in direct contact with the track. A larger tire surface allows for more grip, but it also increases tire temperatures. An extreme angle makes a car very responsive and quick on a couple laps, but eventually the tire will run out of useful rubber, making your car unresponsive and slow. F1 cars often use a variety of toe-in and toe-out. As previously mentioned, the toe dictates the angle to which the front of the tires point in or out from the car. Front tires often have about 1 degree toe-out, whereas the rear wheels have 1 to 2 degrees toe-in. Often, teams use more extreme toe-in and outs on high-speed tracks. As F1 teams use lower downforce wings, increase the front toe-in allows for a more responsive and grip-leveled car. Verstappen was extremely fast during qualifying and the short stints on his medium tires, yet his disadvantage came at the lack of longevity of the tire life. It seemed that Red Bull didn't expect the lack of rubber on track to cause such tire degradations in combination with their setup. Another interesting fact is how Ferrari was much faster in the medium downforce corners. Cars with higher downforce face less tire degradation. It seemed that where Red Bull optimized their cars for top speed, Ferrari did so for the medium-speed corners by adding more downforce. This difference in downforce was also visible in how Leclerc could attack the curbstones. Leclerc could use way more curbstones than Max Verstappen could. This might have to do with the setup of the suspension. Red Bull more likely used a stiffer suspension to make sure their car could handle the heavy braking zones. Ferrari opted a softer suspension to attack the curbstones in the second part of the lap. Lastly, Red Bull had mega traction when the tires were still good. This seemed to be a combination of the camber, toe, and stiffness, but also the differential. A higher differential when going on the throttle forces both rear tires to rotate at the same speed, whereas an open and lower differential allows for a more gradual traction of the tires. The higher differential seemed to work great over a single lap pace, but as the tires start to lose performance, a higher differential can work opposite as it makes your rear tires slip. Overall, Verstappen can be lucky with a second place as Carlos Sainz's car gave up on him. However, analyzing the race and the historical races, it seems that Red Bull had an off day and were a bit unlucky with their setup. They probably relied too much on the rubber from both the F3 and F2 cars and weren't prepared for a track without any rubber. If you like this video, please subscribe to The Racing Guru and see you next time.